next speaker. Are all my judges ready? I'm sorry. I should have put it off memorizing this last night. This is an example of what happens when one decides to procrastinate. Now, I promise I prepared my speech and I have it completely memorized. I just want to grab your attention and have you understand the disastrous results and feelings present when one decides to procrastinate. Now, procrastination is cleverly defined on Urban Dictionary as I will put up the definition later. But a more reliable source tells us that procrastination is to willingly put off something that should be done. We've all done it at least once. You feel overwhelmed, helpless, ready to give up and scream. Procrastination is a tempting, practically inescapable addiction that destroys our most valuable resource on earth, which is time. Today I want to discuss this addiction and the negative impact it has on our goals, on our relationships, because of the grasp it holds on our productivity. To go through this subject, I'd like to look under it under three different lenses. First, the basics of procrastination. In other words, the what, the why, the how. Second, the barrier provided in our lives when we decide to procrastinate in our relationships, in our goals. And finally, the breakthrough we have to achieve to overcome or lessen the effect that procrastination has in our lives. So 3 B's: basics, barrier, and breakthrough. So first, let's talk about the fundamentals of procrastination. The art of keeping up with yesterday. Now, believe it or not, procrastination did not first become a thing with the beginning of the internet, with its endless amount of social media notifications and the online games that always seem to offer the next level. No, actually, the Greek poet Hesiod wrote about it in 800 BC, saying, "Do not put off till tomorrow or the next day what can be done today." And disregarding Hesiod's words, a large amount of people, including me, have decided to do just that, put off. Unfortunately, we're all subject to using time. Now, some are not as prone to procrastinating, and then there are others who postpone, well, everything. For example, my mom is very organized, manages her activities very well, and I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum, believing that when an assignment is due tomorrow, I'm going to do that assignment tomorrow. My mom doesn't understand why wait, why continue to say I will do it tomorrow. So why do procrastinators? Procrastinators find pleasure in the here and now. I prefer to hang out with friends, watch a TV show, organize my pencils. Procrastinators often fail or really just don't care enough to think of the long-term consequences. It's part of our sinful nature to not be 100% productive all the time and to be undisciplined. God addresses this in the Bible, however, Matthew 25:29, saying, "To those who use what they have been given, even more will be given, and they will be in an abundance. But to those who do not use what they have been given, what little they have will be taken away from them." So while it may just seem to me neglecting to do your taxes, or neglecting to do that math test, in reality, procrastinating is disobeying, it's rejecting the talents and the plan that God has placed in your life. Now, we often use justifications to back up our reckless ways, such as reframing, pretending that getting an early start on a project is actually detrimental to our performance. But I work so much better at 4:30 a.m. in the morning, I'm so much more productive, so much more creative. Bad justification. And just in case you're wondering, it doesn't get any better at 5:30 a.m. in the morning, I would know. Some others might include humor, rebellion. If you're using any of these to justify your reckless ways, you're indulging in your time wasting, which has, most definitely will lead to a harmful situation, which leads to my second pointer B, failure. Around this time last year, I was the most depressed and lost I'd ever been in my entire life. I was failing quizzes, exams, essays, tests, you name it, I failed it. My conversations with my parents ended in arguments. I didn't even talk to my friends. My teachers were disappointed with me. And as I thought about it, the reason why all of this was happening was my good old pal, procrastination. Procrastination was and still is to some point an addiction, the pain of my existence. I put off so many different things coming at me at one point that eventually ended in a stress-ridden, sleep-deprived, angry me. So what barriers are provided in your life or in the life of someone that you care about because of procrastination? First, it puts a barrier in our relationships. We're meant to spend quality times with the ones that we love and care about, but procrastination takes that time, and with it, the ability to make new friends, to make new memories, and the ones that we love the most begin to fade. Second, it puts a barrier in our goals and aspirations. Now, many procrastinators say they work better under pressure, and I can honestly say as the poster boy for procrastination, I don't work better, I just work faster. If you don't dedicate time to something, it's going to show. You want to make something that's worth showing the world, you have to dedicate time to it. Not just frantic, last-minute rushing. Third, and final barrier is in our health and mental capacities. According to Dr. Seikel, a psychologist, he links the procrastination trait within people to a poor immune system, to a poor health. According to a recent survey, 1 out of 5 people said that procrastination has an extremely negative effect on their lives. So how do we break down this barrier? How do we overcome procrastination? That leads to my third and final be brave. Now, unfortunately, procrastination cannot completely be overcome. And I could leave the room right now, finish my speech, or I could give you tips to fight this addiction, to fight this problem that so many of us face on an everyday basis. This addiction that has the possibility to ruin our future. So I've created 4 steps to mitigate or lessen the effect that procrastination has on us. Step number 1, like everything else, you have to rely on God. You have to rely on His strength to overcome our weaknesses. You have to be in constant prayer, asking for help. Step number 2 is be accountable. You have to be accountable for your actions. You could be accountable to your mom, dad, brother, sister, husband, wife. You may set New Year's resolutions. How far do you get by yourself? A couple months, a couple weeks, a couple days. Accountability is necessary. Step number 3 is limit your distractions. Imagine how much more productive and efficient you would be if you took all the things that distract you all the time and you just got rid of them. Step number 4 is a change in mindset. Because when you have a change in mindset, you'll find the little things, or maybe even the larger things that you procrastinate on so often, are a crucial part of a much larger plan that God has placed in our lives. Furthermore, a productive mindset, when faced with the ability to procrastinate or get done what needs to be done, you critically have to think about that situation. And you have to ask yourself, really, what would be the most beneficial and efficient use of my time? And really, what would God be more proud of? Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I procrastinated on the speech. It wasted time, it caused stress, I lost sleep. But what I realized is that procrastination is a day in, day out battle between satisfying our desires and getting done what needs to be done, and the long-term consequences, it has no beneficial outcome. It's kind of like a credit card, fun to keep on swiping and using and buying until you get the bill. As I wrote my steps to mitigate procrastination, I realized I have to apply these to my own life. So I'd like to do one of those steps with all of you right now. Be accountable. I like to be accountable to this promise, to you, to my parents, to God. I will stop procrastinating tomorrow.